what's going on everyone? Matt here for the Matt Film Show. You guys need to make sure thumbs up, subscribe if you guys like. Let's get right into today's video. And today I'm beginning you guys my review on Avatar Fire and Ash, the third installment in the Avatar franchise. You guys know I've been looking forward for this movie. This movie is my most anticipated movie of the year. Waited all year for this movie, and you guys know how I feel about The Way of Water, the second one. 3 years ago came out. And you guys know how much I love that movie. That's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's Avatar, Fire and The Way of Water. You guys know how it said that movie was beautifully stunning, well made. I loved the visual effects. I thought that movie was beautifully well made. It's such a beautiful movie. How Avatar, The Way of Water was made. That was way better than the first one. I enjoyed the first one as well, but I thought that they stepped it up in that Way of Water. It was 13 years after the first one, 14, 13 years, or somewhere around there. And so, and now we're back 3 years later with the third one, Avatar Fire and Ash. Good thing we didn't have to wait another 14 to 15 years, you know what I mean, for the third one. Glad that, we only had to wait 3 years for this one. So, like I said, I loved The Way of Water. I enjoyed the first one. I loved The Way of Water. My favorite movie of 2022. One of my favorite movies of all time is Avatar, The Way of Water. Visually stunning film. I would give it as a premise, the cast, and my overall thoughts on Fire and Ash. The premise is, continues Jake and Neytiri's family saga on Pandora, focusing on the grief after Neytirium's death. Where a new antagonistic Na'vi clan, the Ash people / Makwan. So then there's the new tribe, right? There's a new tribe in this time around called the Ash people, or the Makwa people, which are like the enemies in this one. It emerges allied with Quaritch, escalating conflicts and exploring themselves of war's aftermath, resilient, struggling to reconcile life, aim, devastation, all while introducing new Pandoran environments like a human interest in industrial. Obviously, the movie is written and directed by James Cameron. I think that James Cameron is one of the best directors out there. Obviously, I loved what he did with the first one, and obviously loved what he did with The Way of Water. I thought he did a way better job with The Way of Water than he did in that first Avatar film. Obviously, he is known for Titanic, another movie that I really enjoyed watching. 3-hour movie. I love Titanic. A lot of people's favorite movie of all time. Obviously, he's known for Terminator and Terminator 2, or T2, Judgment Day, I believe it was called. Great movies, fantastic movies. Obviously, he did Alien, right? The original Alien. And you can never underestimate James Cameron. You can never underestimate James Cameron. Obviously, the movie distributed by 20th Century Studios. The movie stars Susan Dell as Neytiri, Sam Worthington as Jake Sully, Sigourney Weaver as Kiri, Stephen Lang as Miles Quaritch, Ona Chaplin as Varang, Kate Winslet as Ronell. So, like I said, like I was explaining right now, James Cameron, director that never misses. He is one of the great directors out there, like Christopher Nolan, best directors in the movie business, right? James Cameron, Christopher Nolan, name a few. And I loved what he did with the first one, and like I said, I thought he did a way better job with The Way of Water. I love the water aspect of Pandora. Love the underwater scenes. Very well made film. My favorite movie, one of my favorite movies of all time, right? And so my expectations for Fire and Ash was way higher because how much I loved The Way of Water. First things first, I want to start off by saying the visual effects or the visuals in this movie, outstanding. amazing visuals and fire and ash. Um, that's the best part about the Avatar films is visually stunning. The world of Pandora, the underwater scenes, um, the everything about the world of Avatar is visually stunning. The characters well made, special effects well made. This movie is all about visually. It's all about the visuals, and they did it again visually. They did great job with the visuals this time around, how they did with the previous two films. This movie came out 3 years after the second one. Like I explained, I kind of thought that, they would have waited another 10, 15 years for another Avatar, but, we waited 12, 13 years, I believe, or 14 years. It was between the first one and the second one, and then 3 years later, now this one. I love the world of Pandora, from the first Avatar film. Once we came to Pandora in the first one, visually stunning, like I said, but I just love that world. And when we get to explore that in the water aspect of Pandora in the second one, I loved what we did here. And going back to Pandora this time around, I love it even more. I just love Pandora. I love how it looks. I love how it feels. The environment and everything, visually stunning. You know what I mean? Like, I wish I was part of that Pandora world. I wish I was in Pandora. You know what I mean? If I was able to be in Pandora, you know what I mean? I would have fell in love with it, And so, it's just a film that makes you like want to be there. You want to be present in that world. That's how I feel about the Avatar films. Is I feel like I'm present there. You know what I mean? Another thing I want to say is that this is a long movie. It's 3 hours and 17 minutes. Do not know if this is the longest Avatar film. I can't remember how long the second one was. I think the second was like over 3 hours. And the first one was like over 2 hours and a half or something. I can't remember, but this is a long movie. But it didn't feel like 3 hours to me. It didn't feel like 3 hours and 17 minutes to me. You know what I mean? Because I really enjoyed this movie. I had a great time with this movie. And so, to me, that there was no, it didn't feel long movie to me. The length, it didn't feel like 3 hours to me. It felt like 2 hours and a half, 2 hour movie. So I was like, wait, this was 3 hours, and it felt like 3 hours when I watched it. And obviously, there's a lot of movies out over 3 hours, right? You had Avengers Endgame, which was 3 hours and 2 minutes. Then you had Zack Snyder's Justice League, which was 4 hours, that released on HBO Max 4 years ago, right? And I prefer Zack Snyder's Justice League over Joss Whedon's version, right? And I love Zack Snyder's Justice League. I really enjoyed that movie, and I love the 4 hour cut. You know what I mean? Long movie, but you know what I mean. And so, the fact that this is 3 hours and 17 minutes, it was worth it. You know what I mean? It was worth watching. You know what I mean? I didn't feel bored. I think movies that go past a certain amount of hours, I start to get bored of, depending on what movie it is. You know what I mean? And I didn't feel like that in this time around. I didn't feel bored. I was entertained from beginning to end. There was not one moment that I was bored from this movie. So that's good. You know what I mean? James Cameron knows how to keep you entertained. At least for me, I was entertained the whole 3 hours and 17 minutes. The villains here, I do want to talk about the villain. It's called the Ash People, or the villains in this time around, called the Magquan clan. They're kind of red. Very interesting villain here. Very, I kind of like that they were going to kind of felt like Avatar: The Last Airbender. where you know the elements water, fire, earth, and air and all that, right? And so it kind of feels like that's kind of what they're doing here. You know, when you had the second one, you had water, and now this one's fire. You know what I mean? So it kind of caught like Avatar has Airbender vibes from that because water. You know what I mean? But I really enjoy the Ash people. Like the Ash people, the fighting scenes with the Ash people and Jake Sully and his tribe. You know, because you know on Avatar there was like the different tribes, right? Um, these like the Ash people or like that fire tribe, if you want to call it, right? Um, Great villains. You know, I really enjoyed them and very intense fighting scenes. There was times where I was like, oh, like this is good, like great fighting scenes. I really enjoyed the fighting scenes here. Um, the fire in here, you know, the explosion of the fire and all that looked so beautifully well made. Um, you know, and um, let's see here, like I loved the family dynamic between Jake Sully and Natiri with their kids, right? Um, and so with Kiri and what was his son's name? Anyways, um, I I love the family dynamic there. You know, there's always there. You know, Jake Sully's like, no, you can't go there alone. I have to go there first, because he wants to protect his family. He wants to be there for family. So it was really really great scene there, being like that family dynamic. Jake being the protective father, right, and Cherry being the protective mother, protecting their children, um, right, from the Ash people who come in and once they see the Ash people, they start in and they attack the kids, right? And then Jake Sully and Neytiri to go and protect the kids and all that. So it was very, very intense things. And um, I I really enjoyed this movie. Like this was very, very enjoyable. Now I would say that I didn't I really did enjoy it and I wouldn't say I loved it. You know what I mean? There was something that was missing from this movie that just I don't know what like that spark that I loved from The Way of Water because I love that movie so much. You know what I mean? I really enjoyed The Way of Water and surprised me. I just did not feel that with this one. I do not know why. Like I was enjoyable movie. I enjoyed it. I had a great time with the movie. Right? I had fun with the movie. I love the special effects. Right? Like you know the visual effects. I love the family dynamic with Neytiri and Jake Sully and hit their kids. You know, loved watching the big explosions and everything. I really enjoyed the Ash people. All right. But for some weird reason, I did not love it. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I'm not saying like there was something missing that the Way Water had, or the first one had, that did not bring into this one. I do not know what it was. But something that I loved from those movies, those two movies, was not here present in Fire and Ash. But at the end of the day, I had fun with the movie. I liked the story. I liked what it was. Um, and I just wanted to love this movie. And I did it. And surprised me because, you know, waiting 3 years for this movie, because it's, you know, it's been 3 years since um, The Way Water. I don't know why I forgot the name right now, but The Way Water, and how much I loved The Way Water. My expectations for this movie was very, very high, and I cannot feel like here. I wanted to love this movie, but I couldn't because it just didn't. Um, I'm trying to figure out a word. It just didn't. Um, this movie just didn't click with me. You know what I mean? How the first two did, and so um, it was kind of a lackluster, disappointing because I didn't come out loving this movie. Now, that does not mean I did not enjoy this movie. It's like, no, I enjoyed it, but not as much as I enjoyed The Way of Water or the first one, right? Um, so, like I said, I wanted to love this movie, and I know that there's a fourth one coming out, right? I think we're gonna have to wait 4 years for this one now. I believe it's scheduled to come out in December of 2029. Correct me if I'm wrong. So 4 more years until we get the fourth Avatar movie, which I don't even know what's it called, or I'm not sure if they gave it a title or not yet. But I did hear in interviews that James Cameron did for Avatar that the fourth one is not committed. It's not guaranteed. So even though I believe they filmed it, I believe it's filmed. So I think that one's already filmed. But he wants to see how this one succeeds in the box office before, continuing. Because I think he didn't finish filming. He finished half. He filmed half the fourth one, and he wants to see how this one does in the box office, and to film the rest of this movie. But like I said, we're still like 4 years away, 3 or 4 years away from this movie. So I'm sure there's plenty of time for this. This movie could have been out by now, to be honest, because this movie was delayed as well as The Way of Water was delayed so many times. But I really want James Cameron to make more Avatar films. Like I'm saying this like I think that he waited too long for the first one. I was like, no, it's like I was talking crap about The Way of Water. It's like no one wants to see another Avatar. Like no one, like Avatar 2 is not going to do well. It's not going to be $1 billion movie. It's not going to be a $2 billion movie. I was talking down on it. And I watched it and I loved it. And it became a $2.3 billion movie. Avatar till this day is still the top grossing film of all time with $2.9 billion in the box office. And the second one being 2.2 billion or 2.3 billion. So this movie is like about like a $5 billion movie already, right? With two movies, $5 billion with two movies. I do not know if this one will be a $2 billion movie. Might be a billion. It's guaranteed $1 billion movie, 100%. It's going to be a $1 billion movie, 100%. I just do not know if it could do the 2 billion. I hope it does. I hope it does. But like I said, I was a little bit disappointed with this film. I wanted to love this film and I didn't. Right? So, but I still want a fourth film. Like I still want them to continue the Avatar films. Not like they should end it at 3 and that's it. It's like no, I want to see more. That's what I want. That's what I want. I kind of wish that I loved this. I kind of wish I loved it. Kind of wish I enjoyed it more. But I was kind of underwhelmed with this one. So yeah, that's my review for this one. A little bit disappointed I was, but still had enjoyable moments and did not feel 3 hours and 17 minutes. It felt shorter. It didn't feel that long to me, honestly. But I'm still, I would still want more Avatar films. But we're still gonna have to wait another 3 to 4 years or 4 or 5 years or something like that for the fourth one. So I'm going to be waiting, these 4 or 5 years or how long I think it's 2029, so 4 years for Avatar 4 or whatever. I can't remember what that one was called or is called. But, so yeah, you know what I mean? I think that if you enjoy the first 2 Avatars, you're going to enjoy this one. You know what I mean? It's still visually stunning. You're still going to come out of this movie and say it's visually stunning because it still is. So yeah, that's my review for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure don't subscribe, guys. Like, let me know in the comments below what you guys think of Avatar Fire and Ash. If you guys want to watch Fire and Ash, let me know in the comments below. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out.